Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another screencast by your Earth Science teacher, Mr. Stano. And today we're going to go on to looking at how ice ages affect our topography or our different landscape regions. Ice ages, which will lead to glaciers and glacial landforms. Now remember, Long Island is basically is a response of glacial activity. So whole areas can be completely changed, added, or taken away by glaciers. Causes of an ice age, a number of different reasons. Changes in positions of the continents. If those continents have moved more towards the poles, we're going to see an ice age or accumulation of ice and snow in those regions. Variations in energy output of the sun. The sun is not static. It doesn't stay the same. It changes over time. Changes in atmospheric carbon dioxide concentration. We have seen links between ice ages and CO2 in the atmosphere. Remember, CO2 a greenhouse gas. So when there's less of it in the atmosphere, colder climate, potential for an ice age. Changes in volcanic activity, because it changes the transparency of the atmosphere, allowing either light to come in more or less. And then, of course, influence of the biosphere. Changes of life may have a very small effect on our climate also. And this is the last major continental ice sheet to come through. And this is during Wisconsin, so it's about 18,000 years ago. It actually started a little bit before that, the Laurentine tide ice sheet. And basically it moved down, come down over here. And when it did that, it pushed a whole bunch of sediment towards Long Island, which would be right around there. It also moved a huge amount of sediment all across the northern part of here. Of the Great Lakes, and definitely responsible for the Finger Lake regions here in New York State. Okay, here's just more pictures of the same glacier actually that had moved down. And what we see is very typical what we learned about glacial activity before. It's going to scratch and striate any of the bedrock that it's going to be moving over. Here's some more of those glacial striations, those nice straight lines that we see, which show the direction of glaciers. Okay, and here, not till like this, but similar for Long Island, is we're going to see glacial till, or this unsorted sediments. It's also called sometimes drift, which is just the same thing as till. It's just this unconsolidated material that is deposited by glaciers. Here's we're just looking at a glacier. Okay, and what we notice is that classic U-shaped valley that has been carved out by a glacier. So glaciers, once again, carving out these U-shaped valleys versus the V's that we see with the rivers. Here's just another great example of a U-shaped valley. Talking about a mile, sometimes 2 miles of ice coming through. All that mass and all that weight, that pressure pushing and grinding against these rocks, carving out these valleys. Because of this glacier during the Wisconsin period that we're looking at, it's moving all those sediments that were up in New York State, and it's transporting them and moving them down through into the lower portions of it, or the more southern parts of the state. So we see a lot of New York State soils, even some closer to, more towards upstate, that have been all as a result of glaciers and therefore transported sediment. Okay. On the flip side, we have our river valleys, and remember, these are all V-shaped valleys. Okay, that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. We'll hold off until bedrock. Until next time, hope you enjoyed it. Take care.